Hello class 10th. Hope you all are doing well. Students, as you all know that your summer holidays are starting from the next week. So you have a good time to revise all your syllabus and complete your all the assignments if they are but not completed, right? And send them these assignments to me through the email. Now today in this video I'm going to start a new chapter in chemistry, that is your analytical chemistry. And in this video we will discuss the different salts can be identified by using two alkalis or two reagents, that is your sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide. Let's start the chapter analytical chemistry. Analytical chemistry. Analytical chemistry deals with the experimental study both by qualitative and quantitative means. Determination of a chemical components in a given sample is called analysis. Analysis is of two types. First is called qualitative analysis and second is your quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis involves identification of unknown substances by chemical test, and quantitative analysis involves determination of composition of mixture, means we find out the quantity of a particular species in a mixture. And qualitative analysis is done by carrying out chemical tests with the help of reagents. So what are reagents? It is a substance which reacts with other substances and give a particular color or precipitate in the end. And alkalis are the important laboratory reagents. Alkalis are actually bases which are soluble in water. As we have already discussed about alkalis and bases, that alkalis, all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis, right? Because all bases are not soluble in water. The most commonly used reagents are sodium hydroxide, which is a strong alkali, and ammonium hydroxide, which is a weak alkali. These alkalis react with the solution of a metal salts to form a precipitates of different colored hydroxides, which may be soluble or insoluble in excess of these alkalis. So what is precipitate? It is a solid substance formed by the reaction between solution. Now look at here, the first test tube contains solution, second test tube contain the suspended particles in the solution, and third one is your all suspended particles, they settle down at the bottom and form a precipitate, and solution is separated out. Next is your color of salts and its solution. Salt is colored if its cations or anions are colored. Salts of normal elements, especially group 1, 2, 13 and 17 group elements are colorless, while salts of transition elements are colored, that is your group 3 to 12 are colored. Ammonium ions, sodium ions, lead ions, aluminum ions and calcium ions, barium ions, these are what? Colorless ions or colorless cations. While colored ions are cupric ion, which is blue in color, ferrous ion, light green in color, ferric ion, yellowish brown in color, and nickel ions are green, chromium ions are also green, and magnesium ions are pink in color. First is there are three colored anions as your permanganate ion, that is your pink or purple in color, while dichromate ions are orange in color, and chromate ion, they are yellow in color, right? Let us discuss reactions of salt solutions with sodium hydroxide. First is your calcium nitrate. When you take calcium nitrate salt solution and add sodium hydroxide in a small quantity, dropwise, then you will get what? Soluble sodium nitrate and insoluble white precipitate of calcium hydroxide. When you add in excess, then this white precipitate of calcium hydroxide is insoluble, right? This arrow is what shows that precipitate is formed. Now next is your what? Magnesium chloride. Now you will add a few drops of sodium hydroxide in a salt solution of magnesium chloride. Then you will get a soluble sodium chloride and insoluble precipitate of magnesium hydroxide. And what color precipitate you will get? Dull white precipitate of magnesium hydroxide you will get, and which is insoluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. Now third cation is your what? Iron 2 or ferrous iron, and you will take a salt ferrous sulfate which is green in color. When you add few drops of sodium hydroxide solution in ferrous sulfate solution, you will get soluble solution of sodium sulfate and insoluble precipitate of iron 2 hydroxide. And what color precipitate you will get? Dirty green insoluble precipitate, right? Now third is your what? Iron 3 cations, that is your ferric ions. Ferric ions are brown in color, so you will take a salt solution of iron 3 chloride. When you add few drops of sodium hydroxide in iron 3 chloride salt solution, you will get what? Soluble salt solution sodium chloride and a precipitate of iron 3 hydroxide is formed. And what is the color of this iron 3 hydroxide? That is your reddish brown in color. And this reddish brown color of iron 3 hydroxide is also insoluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. And always remember, iron 3 chloride is a deliquescent salt. What do you mean by deliquescent salt? The salts which on exposure to the atmosphere absorb moisture and change into salt solution. Now next is your copper ions, and you will take a salt solution of copper sulfate which is what? Blue in color, because copper ions are blue in color. Now you will add few drops of sodium hydroxide in the salt solution of copper sulfate, and what you will get? You will get soluble solution of sodium sulfate and insoluble precipitate of copper hydroxide. That is your pale blue precipitate of copper hydroxide you will get, which is also insoluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. Understood? Now next is your zinc ions. How you will identify zinc ions? You will take a salt of zinc sulfate which is white in color and add few drops of sodium hydroxide in the salt solution of zinc sulfate. What you will get? The soluble solution of sodium sulfate and gelatinous white precipitate of zinc hydroxide. But when you add this sodium hydroxide in excess, then this gelatinous white precipitate of zinc hydroxide become soluble and you will get colorless solution of sodium zincate. So just remember that in excess of sodium hydroxide, the gelatinous white precipitate of zinc hydroxide is soluble. Understood? Now next is your lead ions, and lead ions are white in color, and you will take a salt, suppose lead nitrate. Now when you add few drops of sodium hydroxide solution in a salt solution of lead nitrate, you will get soluble solution of sodium nitrate and insoluble precipitate of lead hydroxide. And what is the color of lead hydroxide? That is your chalky white precipitate. But when you will add this sodium hydroxide in excess, then this chalky white precipitate of lead hydroxide become soluble, and what you will get? Colorless solution of sodium plumbite. Understood? Now next is your reactions with ammonium hydroxide solutions. First is your calcium ions, which are white in color, and the salt of calcium nitrate. You will take the salt of calcium nitrate, but it gives no precipitate with ammonium hydroxide. Just remember, calcium hydroxide is not formed when calcium salt is react with ammonium hydroxide. So you will not get any precipitate, right? Second is your magnesium ions. You will take a salt solution of magnesium chloride and you add a few drops of ammonium hydroxide in salt solution of magnesium chloride, and what you will get? You will get a soluble solution of ammonium chloride and what? Dull white precipitate of magnesium hydroxide, which is insoluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Understood? This is your what? Ferrous ions. You will take a ferrous sulfate salt solution and add few drops of ammonium hydroxide solution in it. What you will get? You will get a soluble solution of ammonium sulfate and dirty green precipitate of iron 2 hydroxide, which is also insoluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Now next is your ferric ions. Ferric ions, to identify ferric ions, you will take a salt iron 3 chloride or any salt of ferric, and you add few drops of ammonium hydroxide in iron 3 chloride salt solution. What you will get? You get soluble salt solution of ammonium chloride and reddish brown precipitate of iron 3 hydroxide, which is also insoluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Now next is your copper ions. Copper ions, to identify copper ions, you will take a salt solution of copper sulfate, and when you add few drops of ammonium hydroxide in the salt solution of copper sulfate, what you will get? You get a soluble salt solution of ammonium sulfate and pale blue precipitate of copper hydroxide. Okay, but when you add this ammonium hydroxide in excess, then this blue precipitate of copper hydroxide turn soluble and you will get deep blue or inky blue solution of what? Tetraamine copper sulfate. Understood? Now next is your zinc ions. When to identify zinc ions, you will take a zinc sulfate salt solution and add few drops of ammonium hydroxide in this solution of zinc sulfate. What you will get? You get ammonium sulfate solution, white gelatinous precipitate of zinc hydroxide, right? But when you add ammonium hydroxide in excess, gelatinous precipitate of zinc hydroxide is soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Understood? Now next is your lead ions. You will take the salt solution of lead nitrate and add few drops of ammonium hydroxide in the salt solution of lead nitrate, and what you will get? You will get first what? Soluble salt solution of ammonium nitrate and chalky white precipitate of lead hydroxide. And when you add ammonium hydroxide in excess, you will what you will observe? That the chalky white precipitate is insoluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Understood? Remember, with ammonium hydroxide, this copper hydroxide and zinc hydroxide both are soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide, right? But in case of sodium hydroxide, zinc hydroxide and lead hydroxide are soluble in excess of what? Sodium hydroxide. Understood? Okay, thank you children.